I squeezed Jack's little hand a bit tighter as we stepped through the wooden doors of the Rusty Spur Steakhouse in Sedona, Arizona. The smell of mesquite grilled ribs and fresh cornbread hit us like a warm desert breeze. The hostess, with her cowboy boots and genuine smile, lit up when she saw my 8-year-old son fiddling with his bolo tie. "Evenin'. S. Harper. Your folks are already at the big table." My stomach did a little twist. $600. That's what I'd shelled out from my ranch supply store manager's paycheck to book this prime spot for my parents' 45th anniversary. Money that could have gone toward fixing the leaky roof on our modest adobe house or Jack's soccer cleats. But tonight had to be flawless. "Ready, kiddo?" I asked Jack, who nodded with that serious look of his. The place was all Western charm, flickering lantern lights, knotty pine walls, and a guitarist strumming Johnny Cash tunes in the corner. Couples shared stories over cold beers, and families dug into platters of brisket. The hostess led us to the large oak table where my family sat. There was my younger sister, Brittany, her sun-bleached hair falling over a turquoise blouse that screamed high-end boutique, probably more than my truck payment. Her husband, Travis, scrolled his phone absent-mindedly. Their 2 boys, 6 and 4, fidgeted despite the coloring books in front of them. My dad, John, sat straight as a fence post, and Mom, Linda, beamed at Brittany's kids. Between my parents sat 2 wrapped gifts with red ribbons, one for each of Brittany's boys. Nothing else. "We're here," I said, forcing a smile. Mom looked up. "Oh, Emily, you made it." Not a glance at Jack. "Happy anniversary," I added, kissing Mom's cheek. It felt cool and distant. Dad gave a curt nod. "Thanks for organizing this." Brittany barely looked up. "Hey, cease." I helped Jack into his chair, watching him unfold his napkin just like I'd shown him. His blue eyes scanned the table, noticing the gifts, the oversight. "Jack made cards for y'all," I prompted. He pulled out 2 handmade ones with crayon drawings of cacti and cowboys. "Happy anniversary, Grandma and Grandpa." Mom took them with a vague smile. "That's sweet, honey." They vanished into her purse unopened. "Emily, be reasonable. Your sister needs this more." Mom's old words echoed in my head. How many times growing up, Brittany got the new boots while I wore hand-me-downs. Brittany took the last slice of pie 'cause she'd had a rough day. Brittany used my savings for her dream wedding venue in Flagstaff. It was a cycle I couldn't shake. Even now, raising Jack alone after his dad bailed for greener pastures in Vegas, I still wired Brittany cash for her emergencies. Still showed up to every family barbecue, hoping this time it'd be different. For Jack's sake. One real family meal. A waiter in a Western vest brought menus. Jack's eyes widened at the fancy descriptions, his finger tracing the chicken fried steak, his go-to for special nights. Appetizers. Folks. Brittany's boys hollered for nachos, and Dad nodded approvingly. When the waiter turned to Jack, my son looked at Dad first, then the menu. "Could I have the chicken fried steak, please?" The waiter glanced at Dad, who ignored him. Silence hung like dust in the air. Brittany smirked. "We didn't include him." My breath hitched. Dad added, "Should have brought him a sandwich from home." The table froze. Even Brittany's kids quieted. Jack shrank, staring at his plate. Something inside me snapped, not loud, but like a brittle twig under boot. 5 years solo parenting this sweet boy. 5 years dragging him to ranch gatherings where he was invisible. 5 years telling myself it'd improve if I tried harder. I kept my face neutral, Processing. They'd excluded my son from a dinner I funded, at a table I reserved. The waiter shifted. Maybe I'll come back. No, I said calmly. Cancel the orders. Emily, Mom's voice rose. Bill it to my dad. It's his party. I took Jack's hand. He looked up,
surprised.
For the first time, I'd chosen him over their nods. Dad's face reddened. Hold on.
No.
I won't. Brittany gaped as we walked out, past curious diners, through the steakhouse where I'd hoped Jack might feel part of the herd. He squeezed my hand at the door. You mad? Mom, not at you. Never. Only at myself for not seeing the brand sooner. That night, my phone lit up like a wildfire. I sat in our kitchen, bank statements scattered like tumbleweeds. Each text accused Dad, you shamed us after all we've done. Mom, ruined your father's night. Brittany, overreacting. As always. I nursed cold coffee, tracing transactions. There, $800 monthly to Brittany for 7 months. For her horse trailer fix, she'd said. Then vet bills, then kids' riding lessons.
Gone. No payback.
Another sheet, $2,500 loans vanished. For years of my sweat equity tallied in unreturned favors. I shut my eyes. Numbers searing. Jack's photo on the fridge, his wary smile, stared back. Phone buzzed. I muted it. 3 days later. Chopping carrots for Jack's lunch. Pounding shook the door. Through the peephole. Dad front and center in his rancher shirt. Mom arms crossed. Brittany in designer jeans, shifting nervously. No hiding, their pickup blocked mine. Comin', I called, drying my hands. Dad barreled in. We gotta talk. Jack was at school. Thank God. About that dinner mess. You humiliated us. Brittany's eyes teared up. Folks are whisperin'. Dad slapped a paper down. Invoice for $1,200, double my deposit. You owe. Mom's voice sweetened. Eyes hard. Be fair. Emily. Or we'll tell everyone what an ungrateful daughter you are. The threat loomed like a storm cloud. Old me would have caved for peace. Instead, hang on. Need to call someone. In the kitchen, I dialed. Aunt Susan, can you and Uncle Mike come over?
Urgent.
20 minutes of icy quiet later. They arrived. Uncle Mike's tall frame made Dad straighten. Aunt Susan scanned the room sharp as a hawk. What's going on?
Mike asked steadily.
Brittany performed. Emily ditched us at Dad's anniversary. Won't own up. Not true. I cut in, voice firm. They wouldn't feed Jack at my expense. Dad pointed. Listen, ease up. John, Mike said, stepping between. Susan sat. I've seen this favoritism for years. Always Brittany first. Emily last. Nonsense, Mom sputtered. I fetched statements. I've covered half Brittany's rent, $5, $600 total. Unrepaid loans. Babysittin' while she and Travis vacationed. My voice strengthened. It stops now. Susan nodded. When did last help Emily? Her divorce? Jack's asthma scare? Truck breakdown. Silence. Dad stared at Boots. Mom fiddled with her ring. Brittany swallowed. That's what I figured, Susan said. I pulled 6 $100 bills from my wallet, money tight. But for freedom. Half the bill. Fair. Dad grabbed it. Now the rest. Rent help ends today. I've got records, transfers, texts, promises. Brittany paled. You can't, I got bills. So do I. I filed the papers. We're done. Dad flushed. Sputtering. Brittany panicked. Eyeing Mom for backup, none came. I think Emily asked y'all to leave, Susan stood. Mike opened the door. They filed out. Brittany hissing, "You'll regret this," before Mike's glare moved her.
Door shut.
House breathed easier. Mike squeezed my shoulder. They left with check-in promises. I slid to the floor, hands shaking, tears held. Jack home soon, no crying today. For once, I'd chosen us. 2 days on, I checked my phone obsessively. A pit in my gut. Brittany's Facebook post glared. Some folks forget their roots when they think they're too good for kin. 32 likes. Comments probing. Mom's reply. Heart emoji. Blood's thicker than water. Vague enough to stir the pot. Make me the outlaw. Calls poured in cousins, neighbors. I let the third from cousin Lisa go to voicemail. Screening like a sheriff dodging bounties. This boundary felt oddly empowering. Weeks ago, I'd have explained desperately.
Not now.
My notebook lay open. Every post-dinner jab logged. Dates. Words.
Tones.
What started as defense became my shield, brick by brick around Jack and me. A text from my coworker, Rachel. Lunch tomorrow? You look like you need a vent session. I replied yes without second-guessing. Sunday brought church in our small Sedona chapel, a habit for Jack despite my faith wobbles. We slid into our pew, stairs prickled like cactus spines. "Mrs. Jenkins whispered to her husband, eyes pitying but judgmental. "You okay, Mom?" Jack noticed my grip on the hymnal.
Fine.
"Sweetie." In the coffee hour, I overheard. Emily's having a breakdown since the split. Poor kid. I steered Jack out, noting it for records. Tuesday's therapy with Dr. Rivera felt like oasis water. She reviewed my notes over her rimless glasses. Solid work, Emily. Most don't track this. I need proof. Sometimes I gaslight myself. Classic in toxic families. You're drawing lines many never do. How's that sit? I pondered, like shedding a heavy saddle. Liberating. Thursday evening. Pushing a cart through Red Rock Grocery. Jack reading our list. In the produce aisle. Tension hit. Brittany by the apples. Phone to ear. She spotted us. Hung up. Well, if it ain't the family wrecker. Jack edged close. I touched his shoulder. Just shopping. Brittany. Not the time. Ain't no good time when you're ripping us apart over nothing. Her volume drew eyes. Shoppers paused. A clerk glanced. This ain't about dinner. It's respect for me and Jack. Respect? After all we've done. The hypocrisy burned. My wires for her, truck repairs, unrepaid cash. Weekends watching her boys while she hit the casinos. You'll rue pickin' ego over blood, she hissed. Old me would have smoothed it. Bought her coffee.
Apologized for my pain.
Instead, excuse us. We rolled past. Walking away, she called. Jack whispered later. Good job, Mom. His pride fueled me. Support sprouted unexpectedly. Rachel met for lunch, listening as I spilled. You're brave, my sister's the same. We bonded over boundary stories. Back home, I dug through old boxes in the shed, unearthing a dusty envelope from my childhood ranch house. Dated July 1988, week after my birth. Mom's script to Dad, John. Wasn't ready for another so soon after Brittany. Can't bond like with her. She's so quiet. Wonder if something's wrong. What if I never feel the same? Dad's reply. She'll adjust. Favor Brittany meantime, less stress on you. The paper fluttered. 35 years of outsider status clarified. Not my fault. By design. Hurt shifted to resolve. I photographed it. Sent to parents and Brittany, no words. Blocked them. Aunt Susan called next day. Saw your mom at the feed store. Looked rattled. Materin, you'd ruined everything. I watched Jack build a fort from old crates. Didn't ruin, revealed. Let her stir in pots. Brittany's ragin' at M for favoritism. Dad blames Mom for keeping it.
Noble.
Just lightness, like cutting a bad rope. Whispers shifted. Extended can saw through Brittany's tails. The perfect ranch family facade cracked. A certified letter hit 2 weeks later, law firm from Phoenix. Petition for grandparent visitation. Stomach plummeted. Parents demanded court time with Jack. Citing Arizona law. Painting me unstable. Withholding their beloved grandson. After ignoring him, fear gripped. What if a judge forced visits? Draining savings for lawyers? I called my attorney. Sarah. Hands shaking. Our wait felt eternal. Pacing visions of Jack in their cold grip. She called back. No legs. Emily. Arizona prioritizes parents unless harm proven, and their history? Weak. Relief washed. Then fury, this was assault on our peace. I fortified, documented every snub, missed birthdays, dismissed invites, favoritism proof. Bank wires to Brittany while Jack scrimped. Texts begging attendance. Met with silence. The 1988 letter centerpiece. Monday. I filed school pickup restrictions. Only Susan. Mike. Rachel. No parents or Brittany. Principal. All good. Family matter. Updated will. Guardian Susan and Mike if anything happened. Felt like locking the barn door solid. Sarah delivered response, called glee-filled. Their lawyers droppin' that letter? Too damning if public. Victory, not revenge. Protection. Mailed cease letters. All cruelty logged. Shared with lawyers/friends. Contact us? Police and release all.
Permanent.
Shredded photos of them. Replaced with ours. Jack and me hiking Oak Creek. Susan teaching him roping. Rachel's crew at barbecues. Chosen kin. Phone pinged. Mom's last text. Finger over delete. Curiosity tugged. But I pressed without reading. Some bridges burn for good. Booked Jack and me a camping trip to the Grand Canyon Rim. Our first true escape. As we packed. His easy grin confirmed. We were free. The certified letter's sting faded into resolve. But the dust hadn't settled. 3 months in, our tent stakes drove into the red dirt of the Grand Canyon campsite. The Colorado River snaking below like a silver vein. Jack scampered among the pinyon pines, collecting stones that sparkled in the afternoon sun. Mom, check this quartz. His voice echoed off the cliffs. Full of wonder.
No accusatori bases.
No family shadows. Just vast skies and my boy's growing confidence. Added to the pile, I called, smiling as he arranged his treasures. We set up camp, Jack chattering about erosion and fossils, knowledge from school books he devoured since the drama quieted. The shy kid from the steakhouse had bloomed into this explorer, speaking freely without seeking approval. We laughed racing to the water pump, splashing like kids without a care. Our campfire dinner, hot dogs and s'mores, beat any fancy spread. Flames crackled as Jack toasted his marshmallow to perfection. Graham cracker crumbs on his shirt. You seem happier, Mom. His observation hit deep. I am.
Truth.
Not reassurance. Our bond. Always strong. Now unshackled, mother and son. Partners in this wild West life. As he hunted sticks, I reflected. Years as the family fixer. Swallowing slights for harmony. Guilt once dogged my steps, now. Self-respect rode tall. Therapy unpacked the baggage without burying me. New friends like Rachel understood boundaries as lifelines, not barriers. Work promotion came. Energy funneled there, not crises. Jack's teacher noted his spark, better grades, bolder in class. Susan and Mike became pillars, weekly dinners, roping lessons for Jack. Last week, Rachel confided her own sister woes. How'd you cut ties? I shared. Love from afar can be kindest. Gave her my therapist's card. A book on cycles. Helping others turned pain to purpose, a humane revenge. If any. Morning sun gilded the canyon as we hiked to an overlook. Breath in sync, Jack's hand in mine. I like our family now, he said. Me too. Families built. Not born, lesson light as desert wind. But echoes lingered. A month back, Derek, Brittany's husband, called anonymously. Emily. It's me. Brittany filed that false CPS tip. I stopped more.
But.
Check Venmo. Skeptical. I waited. Ping, $3,200. Sorry, it's what we owe. This ends for me. Text. They're plotting. Watch out. Alliance felt shaky, but I screenshotted. Forwarded to Sarah. More armor. The plot surfaced via Susan, parents spreading ranch rumors, me unhinged, alienating Jack. Church folks whispered. A neighbor asked point-blank. I smiled. Family grow in pains. No defense needed, truth stood. Extended kin shifted. Dad's brother called. Shocked at the letter. Always saw the favoritism. Sorry I stayed quiet. Mom's cousin. That CPS stunt? Low. Narrative flipped. Their isolation grew. I volunteered at Jack's school. Coaching soccer, building community roots. Evenings, we stargazed from our porch. Jack naming constellations. Orion's belt, like a cowboy's. Laughter healed.
Yet.
A humane tug. At therapy.
Dr.
Rivera asked, any forgiveness? Not yet, but understanding?
Yeah.
Mom's letter? Her own pain. Maybe postpartum. Doesn't excuse, but explains. Light lesson. Cycles break with awareness. Not hate. Brittany's next move. A reconciliation email via a cousin. Let's talk for the kids. I forwarded to Sarah. No contact. But I pondered, maybe one day. From strength. Not weakness. Jack's birthday neared, his first without them. We planned a canyon hike party with Rachel's family. Susan.
Mike.
Invites out. Excitement built. Evening before. A knock. Heart raced through peephole. A delivery guy. Package, no sender. Inside. A toy sheriff badge and note. For the little deputy. Miss you. Grandma. Manipulation? Or crack in armor? I set it aside. Called Susan. Toss it. Your call, but document. Jack saw. From who? Old family, but we're good without. He nodded. Wise beyond years. Party was joy. Cake by campfire. Stories under stars. Jack beamed. Surrounded by love earned. Not owed. Months blurred. Work thrived. Managing the store with new ideas like local artisan nights. Jack joined scouts, earning badges. I dated casually, a kind rancher from church.
Norus. Then.
Unexpected. Derek again. Divorce and Brittany. She's spiraling. Thought you'd want to know. Why tell me?
Guilt. And.
Your strength inspired. Humane twist. Pain rippled. But perhaps spark change. As winter winds howled through the canyons, our new rhythm solidified. Jack's scout troop planned a spring campout, and I volunteered as chaperone, embracing roles once sidelined by family pulls. Evenings, we read Western tales by Louis L'Amour. Jack's head on my shoulder, the old hurts fading like sunset shadows. But the past rustled. Sarah called. Your parents dropped the petition officially. Judge dismissed without hearing. Their lawyer cited insufficient grounds. Relief. But no surprise. Arizona's laws protected us. Grandparents need proof of bond and harm. Theirs was zilch. Any countersuit? Not unless they push.
Yukta no, rabanja humana.
Not vengeful. Lesson. Justice comes quiet. Through prep. Not fury. Church evolved. Whispers turned supportive. Mrs. Jenkins approached post-service. Heard the full story. Proud of you, standin' tall. Nods from others. Communities embrace warmer than blood's chill. Brittany's facade cracked public. Facebook rants deleted. But screenshots circulated. Derek's divorce filed. Public record in Coconino County. He messaged, she's admittin' faults in counseling. Your letter opened eyes. Unexpected olive branch. I replied neutral. Wish her well.
No reunión.
But acknowledgement healed a sliver. Spring bloomed, with wildflowers carpeting the desert. Jack's troop camped near Oak Creek, tents up. Fires crackling. Kids roasted weenies. I shared stories of my ranch childhood. The good parts. Jack led a hike. Confident as a trail boss. Watching. Pride swelled. He'd thrived beyond the exclusion. Home. A voicemail from Mom, via landline. Evading block. Emily. That letter. I was young.
Scared.
Didn't mean.
Can we talk?
Voice cracked. Old pull tugged. But boundaries held. I saved it. Noted. But didn't call. Therapy homework. Journal feelings. Hurt. But empathy. Postpartum depression? No resources then. Doesn't absolve neglect. Light lesson. Understanding fosters peace. Not obligation. Rachel's baby shower. Laughter.
Gifts.
She confided. Applied your advice. Set limits with sis. Feels free. Ripple effect. My story a lantern for others. Work peaked. Store owner promoted me to partner. Citing fresh vision. Celebrated with Jack at the steakhouse. Our table.
No ghosts.
He ordered chicken fried steak. Grinning. Better this time. Summer brought heat waves. We cooled in creek swims. Susan hosted barbecues, Mike grilling. Jack learning guitar. Family redefined. Chosen. Reciprocal.
Then.
A turning point. Brittany at grocery again. No scene, she approached tentative. Emily. Derek left cause of me. Counselors making me see. The favoritism.
The talking. Saw the
Eyes genuine? Or ploy? Appreciate that, I said measured. But space needed. She nodded.
fair.
For what it's worth. Miss Jack. Walked away, no drama. Processed with Dr. Rivera, forgiveness? Possible. But earned. You're modeling health for Jack. Indeed, he asked later. Was that Aunt Brittany?
Yeah.
We talked polite. Good. You teach me to be strong but kind. Fall Harvest Festival, booths. Hayrides. We volunteered, Jack manned games.
Spotted parents across, dad tipping hat distant.
Mom waving hesitant. No approach. Peaceful coexistence? Derek updated. Brittany's paying back slowly, job now. Humane end. Accountability, without ruin. Our anniversary of the dinner, marked with camping. Under stars. Jack. Proud of you. Mom. Lesson crystallized. Boundaries birth growth. Forgiveness. When ready. Mends without erasing scars. as snow dusted red rocks. Holidays neared. First without them, Thanksgiving with Susan's clan, Christmas lights on our adobe. Jack hung ornaments, humming carols. No voids, fullness from within. Extended kin invited us to gatherings.
Sans parents shift évident.
Dad's brother, John's reflectin', that letter hit hard. No rush, our herd strong. New Year dawned, I enrolled in online counseling cert, turning experience to help others. Jack's report card glowed, he wrote. My mom's my hero. The Arizona sun climbed high as we packed for our annual canyon trek, marking 2 years since the steakhouse standoff.
Jack,
now 10, slung his backpack with ease, his once cautious eyes bright with adventure. Ready to conquer the trail. Mom, always. Partner. Our bond. Forged in fire. Now unbreakable steel. Reflection came easy on those hikes. The old pain? A faded scar. Reminder of growth. Therapy continued. Unpacking layers. Mom's letter, not villainy, but unaddressed struggle in an era ignoring mental health. Dad's response? Generational blind spots. Understanding bred compassion, not reunion. Light lesson. Empathy humanizes, but self-care reigns. Brittany's path crossed sporadically, civil nods at town events. She'd stabilized, steady job at a Flagstaff boutique, repaying debts in installments. Last Venmo, final chunk. Thanks for the wake-up. Derek remarried. Their boys thrived in co-parenting. No bitterness, lives mended separately. Parents aged gracefully distant. Susan reported, John's softer, volunteering at the senior center. Linda's in therapy. A card arrived for Jack's birthday. Thinking of you.
He read.
Shrugged. Nice. But we're good. Wise kid, chose response without pressure. Community flourished. I led support groups for family estrangement at the local center, sharing tools, documentation, boundaries, therapy. Rachel, now a close friend, co-facilitated. Your story saved me, attendees said. Purpose from pain, a humane legacy. Work boomed, store expanded to eco-rant supplies. My ideas driving success. Dated the rancher steadily, Tom. Kind and steady. Integrating slowly into our world. Jack approved. He makes you laugh. Holidays evolved, blended gatherings with chosen kin. Thanksgiving potluck under stars. Stories shared. Christmas, tree trimming with songs. Gifts thoughtful, not obligatory. One spring day. An unexpected email from Mom. Emily. No pressure, but I'd like to apologize in person. Coffee. Heart pondered.
Consulted Dr.
Rivera. If it serves you. Met at a neutral Sedona cafe, neutral ground. She looked smaller. Eyes weary. That letter. I was depressed after birth. No help. Favored Brittany to cope. Wrong. Hurt you deep. Saw the tears genuine. Dad via letter. Regret my part. Proud of your strength.
No excuses.
Ownership. I shared impacts. Shaped me. But I broke the cycle for Jack. No full embrace. But understanding. Maybe occasional cards for him. Boundaries intact.
Doorknekt.
Jack's input. If they're nicer now.
Cool.
But you're my family first. Lesson internalized. Summer festival. We ran a booth. Laughter ringing. Spotted Brittany with her boys. Waved. Brief chat. Kids playdate sometime. Tentative bridge. Vetted carefully. As monsoon rains nourished the desert. So, did time heal? Not perfect, scars remain, but humane. Forgiveness as choice. Not mandate. Revenge? Transmuted to resilience. Evening porch swings with Jack.
Stargazing.
What did you learn from all that? Mom, family's what we nurture. Boundaries protect. Empathy connects. And we're enough. He nodded. Yeah, we are. Years on. Our story whispered in town as cautionary hope. The woman who stood tall reclaimed her range. Light lesson echoed. In the vast west, true kin ride beside you. Through storms to clear skies.